Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
And that news coming to us tonight from Detroit's west side, where neighbors help an elderly man escape his burning home. Topping our news at 11, that fire quickly ripping through the man's home, forcing him up to the roof.
From there, neighbors were quick to help him get to safety. Tim Pamplin on the scene with a night cam. Tim.
Fire ripping through this home at Washburn and Grand River. That's Wyoming Grand River, Detroit's west side. Let's get to the video.
Where you at, Nate?
Are you down? The fire started upstairs in this home and quickly spread.
He on the roof.
Forcing the lone occupant, I'm being told, an elderly gentleman, out of his house. That's when neighbors jumped into action.
And I'm looking, but I could hear him holler, help me, help me.
Are you down?
I mean, the whole house is blazing out the top right there at the front by the end. Where you at?
The gentleman tells the neighbors he was cooking some rice on a kerosene heater when it fell over. Flaming liquid rolling down the stairs. His only option was to climb out through the dormer window, then on the other side of the home, shimmy down a tree. So back out here, the victim has been moved to an ambulance. It's just down there on Washburn. He's going to go down to the hospital. But excellent work by neighbors staying calm under pressure, getting the elderly man to shimmy down that tree there to save his life. That's a scene on the west side with the night cam. Tim Pamplin, Local 4.
All right, Tim. Now we are also following breaking news from down south in Georgia, where we have a winner tonight in the Senate runoff there. With more than 97 of the vote in, NBC News projecting the Democrats. Senator Raphael Warnock will defeat the Republican challenger Herschel Walker. That will give the Democrats 51 seats in the U.S. Senate. This was a race the entire country was watching. It is another blow to former President Trump, who had endorsed Walker and campaigned for him. Again, the projection tonight, Raphael Warnock will keep his seat in the Senate. Our other top story, the city of Eastpointe rejecting a proposal that would have held parents responsible when it comes to false school threats.
Our Jacqueline Francis is live in Eastpointe. And Jacqueline, this was a proposal heavily backed by police in that community.
It was. This is something the police chief was really pulling for, as he said his entire detective staff has been tied up at one point or another because of these false threats. But not all is lost, as he plans to reintroduce the ordinance in the near future.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley?
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico?
No.
Mayor Pro Tem Lucido?
No. In a 2-2 vote, the ordinance that would hold parents financially responsible for kids making false threats failed. It comes after the Eastpointe Police Department has been inundated with investigating these bogus claims, empty threats often made by students trying to get out of school. Introduced last month, the proposed ordinance would have charged parents the police department's cost in such situations. It would also apply to offenses like pulling a fire alarm or drag racing. The council members opposed had their reasons.
This ordinance is just a little too much, and the last thing I want is for anyone to ever have like the fear of getting a bill for calling emergency or non-emergency numbers. I know sometimes, people abuse it and things like that, but our residents do pay taxes for those services, and we should be providing them.
The police chief disappointed by the decision after explaining to council just how much manpower these investigations require.
When someone's making a false bomb threat or attempting to shoot up the school or blow up the school, that deploys our entire detective bureau and all our officers for several hours, even for days. So that's what we want to do, just hold people accountable.
If the mayor had been at tonight's meeting, the police chief believes she would have been the tie-breaking vote allowing the ordinance to pass. For that reason, he plans to put the ordinance before council again in the coming weeks. Reporting live in Eastpointe, Jacqueline Francis, Local 4.
Jacqueline. Meanwhile, in Fraser, a 15-year-old boy is charged with making a false bomb threat.
Prosecutors say the teen threatened to blow up Fraser High School following a verbal altercation with his principal. He's now being charged with a threat of terrorism and resisting and obstructing. During his preliminary hearing today, his bond was denied and the court has ordered a mental health evaluation.
Facing an ongoing shortage of teachers, dozens of school districts across the state launching a new program that would make it easier to be an educator in Michigan. Victor Williams live tonight with how this new program would work. Victor.
Yes, Devin, we're at Chrysler Elementary School with DPSCD, a school that also falls underneath the umbrella of the Wayne Risa Intermediate District. That district, along with several others, have now created the largest educational partnership right here in the state of Michigan. Together, they have all realized that it's going to really take more to attract and keep teachers around.
When I was in the classrooms, maybe we had about 32 in the classroom.
Parent Tiffany Baldridge says she feels there's always been a lack of teachers in Michigan, but her 6th grade son Carter's generation is really feeling it.
But difference with his school is they are separating A and B days, so it's not as many in the classroom.
According to the initiative, enrollment into teaching programs are down by 66%.
The educator shortage crisis in Michigan is among the worst in the country.
In response, 39 intermediate school districts and regional educational agencies serving 63 counties are coming together to create a program called Talent Together. Today, they all joined each other virtually to make the announcement. Wayne Risa Superintendent Davita Colbert says the goal is to increase the number of teachers going into the pipeline statewide.
We're looking at ways for this to be a little different, not what the traditional programming would look like if an individual went through a 4 or 5 year education program.
With over 1 million combined children being served, the hope is that the new partnership will attract new teachers with a new training model that will get those who qualify inside the classroom quicker than ever.
Part of our goal is to increase the retention of these new teachers coming into the field and also our experienced educators in classrooms today.
Other incentives include more career advancement opportunities for existing educators and more competitive pay to draw diverse candidates to schools in both rural and urban areas.
You may have always wanted to become a teacher, but you can't quit your job and go back to school to become a teacher. We have a solution for you.
Definitely starts with that, but you can't really put a dollar on that.
And the program is in the very early stages of development, but we're told that enrollment could happen as soon as fall 2023. Victor Williams, Local 4.
Okay, Victor. Another outburst today from the man charged with making an anti-Semitic rant outside an Oakland County temple.
San Shakur is accused of threatening preschoolers and their parents in front of Temple Bethel in Bloomfield Township Friday. He went before a judge yesterday. You may have seen that. That was on ethnic intimidation charges. Gave the judge the middle finger in the process. Well, he was in court today in Wayne County for an emergency bond hearing on a separate charge of assault that goes back to 2020. As the judge was revoking his bond for that, Shakur mooned the court.
Now he has removed his pants to show the court his backside. And I understand that his bond was set at $1 million in Oakland County. I don't know if he can make that, but in the event that he does, he's going to be remanded and then he can be brought here. And then I'll see if he pulls his pants down in the courtroom.
Shakur is still in jail in Oakland County. So if he posts bond in the Temple Bethel incident there, it would simply mean he would be sent right to the Wayne County jail.
A Metro Detroit traveler looking for answers after his SUV was left on blocks at Detroit Metro Airport. Joe Habika recorded video of how he found his new Jeep Wagoneer inside the Big Blue Deck parking structure last week. He says the 22-inch wheels on the SUV were stolen. There's also damage from the SUV sitting on the blocks for so long. Police say there are cameras and there is security in the parking structure, but Joe tells Local 4 investigators have 0 leads at this point.
It was kind of disappointing. So far, they've gotten back with me and they said that they've gone through, hours and hours of footage, people coming and going out of the garage, but they really have no leads. And as far as cameras inside the garage, it seems to be quite a lack of cameras because they have no footage whatsoever.
Airport officials say security teams have added patrols. They're also looking into expanding camera coverage at the Big Blue Deck and the McNamara terminal parking deck as well. Tonight, Michigan's own Braden Lape is heading to the finals of The Voice.
Braden Lape! It's a clean sweep.
Just a teenager from Grass Lake, he will join 4 others in competing in next week's finale in hopes of winning the grand prize. You can watch the 2-part finale here on Local 4. It'll start Monday night at 8 p.m. and all of us here at Local 4 cheering Braden on. He's been terrific the whole way up around.